bottom every other month. Land hard, crack open, bits of me escaping, dripping out of my body like biting into an overripe tomato. Sometimes I wanted them to. I'd watch them pool on the ground around me, surface tension rounding the edges, my fingerprint in the carpet leaving a dried stain of the pain that had pushed me down to the bottom of this hole. And then, one day, when I hit bottom, it hit back, pushed against me, made me feel the anger and the pain and the joy and the absolute desperation that it takes to refuse to be broken, because you're not broken because bad things happen to you. You're only broken when bad things happen and you stop fighting. When I was a kid, we used to go to the Natural Food Co-op. My brothers would carry out a couple of bags handed to them by the volunteers inside, and my mom would sigh, smile, relieved. For some reason, my 6-year-old brain ignored the store-brand mac and cheese and the flats of ramen noodles, believing instead that the dried beans and oatmeal made this the health food store and not the food shelf 30 minutes across town. For some reason, I sat there thinking that my parents could afford to go to the health food store, when really it was a food shop. My dad was self-employed, so some months were lean. Some months were, how do I feed my 4 kids with the $2 left in the checking account? I remember selling the van, becoming a 1-car family to get by. I remember vegetables from the garden out back. I remember rice and beans and the smell of homemade bread. I remember eating so much gloppy oatmeal that it took me until I was 27 to willingly take another bite. I remember the day a single young man from church dropped 2 bags of groceries on our front porch. His generosity, the reason I had dinner that night. I sat down to write a poem about hunger, paint a picture, provide a portrait for people to look at and see why we do this work. I realized I'm the reason. I'm the kid who had parents who didn't know where the next meal was coming from. I'm the child in the suburbs whose mom and dad did everything they could to keep her from knowing how hard they were struggling. I am the little girl who walked through the door of the Natural Food Store, always believed that mommy and daddy would keep on providing. I am the single mother of 2. Back in school, who goes to class hungry because there wasn't enough to go around that day. I am the father of 5, face covered with worry, ashamed because he's never had to ask for help before. I am the single young man working 2 jobs and sending his paychecks to his sisters in school. I am the fathers and the daughters and the mothers and the brothers and the grandparents doing everything they can to just make it to tomorrow. I am here because I looked at my parents and I learned how to keep on fighting. I am here because someone said there is a floor below which we will not allow our neighbors to fall. We are here right now because our community is holding the hands of its neighbors and refusing to be broken, so don't stop fighting. Don't stop caring and loving and giving all of the pieces that it takes to keep everyone working toward a better tomorrow, because we can see it. All we have to do is take a hand and take a step together.
Wow. That's why we're here. That's what we're trying to do tonight.